Uh-oh, folks. Would you look what we have here? Would you look at what we have here? We got Sabrina Ionescu, far left. Look at those back muscles. All right, Sabrina, do your thing. We got Erin Kane. Oh, doing her Stephanie White pose. Oh, wow. Okay. Erin Kane doing the Stephanie White. Nice. We got Breanna Stewart. Stewie, as they call her. And we got Sandy Brondello.
Caitlin Clark recently held a private meeting with the New York Liberty, and it could change everything for Indiana. While the Fever stumbled without her leadership, Clark may have been laying the groundwork for a move that would crush every Indiana fan's heart. This wasn't about endorsements or PR. It was about 2028, when her rookie deal ends. And with Indiana's constant missteps, they may already have pushed the league's brightest star to start planning her exit. If you stand with Caitlin, drop Free Caitlin in the comments.
This little scene that took place after the Fever game last night in New York between Sandy Brondello and Caitlin Clark, the New York Liberty, and the agent. The agent. That is what makes this so interesting. That is the key. All right, everybody's concentrating on, by the way, Caitlin Clark looks unbelievably happy talking to these folks.
Now imagine this. Center court against New York. From the very first possession, something feels wrong. The Fever look lost. Their offensive sets crumble. Players freeze, waiting for leadership that isn't there. With Clark's sideline, Indiana's offense disintegrates into scattered, disconnected play with zero rhythm.
We could have been more consistent, and it's just disappointing. I mean, that wasn't us. That's not how we play, and that's not our identity. But I just think, again, it's about us and stacking days. So, I mean, we see them again after All-Star, so we just got to go back to the drawing boards and just, make the adjustments and just be better.
The Liberty didn't just win that night. They dismantled Indiana piece by piece. They exposed weaknesses so glaring. It made you wonder how this team survives without Clark. New York shot an absurd 51.9% from deep, while Indiana scraped by with just 25%. That wasn't just bad luck. It was a harsh truth. Without Clark, no one creates open looks or breaks down defenses. The scoreboard read 98-77, but that didn't reflect the chaos in Indiana huddles. Their worst loss of the season dropped them to 4-6 without Clark at the helm.
Mitchell, she'll pull up. Here's a three. She's got it! And that's a record! Kelsey Mitchell with 9 threes in a game. It's never been done before.
Mitchell is so cracksy.
Don't dare Kelsey Mitchell.
Smooth as butter.
Silky.
Here's Mitchell. Mitchell collects. Mitchell. You bet! And the foul! Mitchell flashes home a three. Sock, step back, launches a three. It's good! Kelsey Mitchell has now hit 607 threes and counting. The most ever for an Indiana Fever player.
Kelsey Mitchell gave everything she had to keep Indiana alive. She broke the franchise record for career threes with number 607, scored 16 points, and showed exactly why she's an all-star. But the frustration on her face said it all. She was trying to carry a load that was never hers to bear. Sophie Cunningham, filling in for Lexi Hull, fought like her career depended on it. 12 points, relentless energy, and fearless play. She never quit, battling until the buzzer.
Hey, Kel, just wanted to say congratulations. As always, I'm super proud of you. And yet another record broken. Of course, this is just the beginning. Keep it going. Records are meant to be broken, but if there's anybody that would break it, I'm glad that it's you. So congratulations. I love you. I'm super proud of you. And let's go Fever. Get that dub.
Even with all that fight, the bigger problem was glaring. Aaliyah Boston, usually a force inside, finished with just 7 points on 1 of 8 shooting. New York smothered her, daring her to pass, confident that without Clark, no one would make them pay. Boston's struggles underline just how vital Clark is. Ari McDonald tried a run point, but the spark was missing. Indiana looked exactly like New York expected. A team with no identity when Clark isn't there. This wasn't just a bad game, it was a collapse. And it raised the question, Can Indiana really build a contender around her? Because without Clark, the Fever look like strangers on the court.
So talented, had that Mamba mentality at Oregon and brought it here to the WNBA as Sophie Cunningham gets the birdie on Natasha Cloud and hits the three.
That's where Indiana's problems went from bad to catastrophic. The way they handled Clark's injury. When your franchise cornerstone goes down, the front office's response tells you everything about its competence. And Indiana's response wasn't just flawed. It was sloppy enough to make fans question whether they can protect their star at all. Interview 7. From medical decisions to poor communication to unclear recovery timelines, everything felt unprofessional. Fans, analysts, even rival teams watched as Indiana stumbled to the basics of managing an injury for the single most important player in the league. Coach Stephanie White's public comments only made things worse. Before one game, she brushed it off with "one day at a time," the same vague line she used when Clark was already out for more than 2 weeks. That lack of clarity only fueled speculation and frustration, and the timing couldn't have been worse. With the All-Star game looming and the WNBA desperate for its biggest star to be visible, Indiana left everyone in the dark. That's not how you treat the generational talent driving your ratings and ticket sales.
Yeah, I thought it started with us just being really soft. They didn't feel us. They're an outstanding offensive team. They're obviously an outstanding defensive team too. And we didn't disrupt at all. They didn't feel us. There was no resistance. We weren't in passing lanes. We let them pass the ball and move wherever they wanted to. So it's outside of just execution of schemes, it's having a little bit more fight and resistance on the defensive end.
But injuries aren't the only issue. There's a bigger problem with how Indiana uses Clark on the floor. She's at her best in an up-tempo style, pushing pace, creating before defenses can set, and using her vision to make teammates better. That's when she's unstoppable.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I hope Indiana Fever fans are taking note, writing things down, following a certain pattern, and this time aren't getting fooled. The Indiana Fever ruled Caitlin Clark out for tonight's game. No surprise to anybody. I saw it, you saw it, your neighbor saw it, Stevie Wonder saw that.
Instead, the coaching staff slows her down into rigid half-court sets that suffocate her rhythm. They want patience and structure, but it kills momentum. It's like buying a Ferrari and forcing to crawl in rush hour traffic. Clark shines in transition. Slow her down, and you don't just limit her scoring, you cripple her impact. And she knows it. Between mismatched schemes, injury confusion, and weak support, she's already thinking about her options. Indiana hasn't just failed her. They may have given her the reason to leave. Interview 11. And then came the moment that shook Indiana fans to the core. A viral photo surfaced of Caitlin Clark.
Another leg injury. She has a quad, we rush her back, she injures her quad. We rush her back, she injures her groin, we rush her back, we injure her quad. Nice, good job. No way Caitlin Clark was going to play tonight. But the Indiana Fever, they decided to lie again about Caitlin Clark's status. Again, to milk the fans dry for as much as they possibly can. Again.
This wasn't casual small talk. This was calculated. The photo showed Clark with coach Sandy Brondello, All-Stars Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, and her agent right there. That's what changed everything. When an agent sits at the table.
The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
The timing said it all. The meeting came right after Indiana's latest collapse and their messy injury handling. Clark had watched her team fall apart without her, saw her recovery mishandled, and then sat down with the WNBA's most organized franchise. The liberty of everything Indiana doesn't, smart front office, MVP caliber stars like Stewart and Ionescu, depth with Mourinho Hannes and Jonquil Jones, and a coach who runs a fast, fluid, player-first system.
If Stephanie White believes that this team is better with Ari McDonald in, blah, 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 if she shares the same views as Carolyn Peck, you fire her on the spot. I don't care if she is an Indiana Fever alum. You fire her on the spot. And anybody else in the organization that shares that same belief set. I mean, these Stephanie White truthers, no surprise, she checks boxes, and they're the old WNBA fandom that thinks Stephanie White's getting a raw deal right now. It's so obvious she don't know what she's doing. She don't know what she's doing with this kind of talent.
The Liberty also have the cap space, the culture, and most importantly, the structure to support a generational star like Clark. Her rookie deal runs through 2026. But by 2028, she controls her future. That photo wasn't just a snapshot. It was a warning shot. Clark is already imagining life after Indiana. The message couldn't be louder. While New York builds her greatness, Indiana keeps repeating mistakes that drive her out the door.
We got Sabrina, we got the agent, we got Stewie, we got Caitlin Clark looking like I ain't seen her this happy all year. Right here. I ain't seen her. And look at Sandy. Sandy's grinning with her hand on Caitlin's shoulder. I mean,
New York's roster proves they know how to build around stars. With Stewart and Ionescu at the core, Clark would thrive in a high IQ, fast-paced offense built on spacing and movement. Perfect for her game. Meanwhile, Indiana keeps showing they don't even know how to use her. Their play without Clark exposed a broken structure. For someone as competitive as Clark, the decision feels obvious. Stay trapped in a system that limits her, or join one that unleashes her. Having already missed 10 games this season with her injury mishandled, Clark has every reason to look elsewhere.
and I saw some people say, well, maybe they're talking All-Star game. Why is her agent there? That is the key. All right, that's the key. Her agent's involved. Some representative is involved. That's what you. They're talking strategy. How many strategy conversations have agents involved in them? Seriously.
The future couldn't be more clear. One path has Clark wasting her prime in Indiana's dysfunction. The other has her in New York, at the center of a dynasty, with a sharp front office, a winning culture, and a system that maximizes stars. The Liberty are the obvious road to greatness. That private meeting with New York wasn't rumor. It was reality, and it sent a chilling message. Indiana could lose the most exciting player in women's basketball because of their own chaos. Erin Kane's presence with Brondello, Stewart, and Ionescu confirmed it wasn't casual.
Now, Caitlin Clark, just magically finding her way in New York one day. She doesn't like how things are going. The Fever continue to just act foolish. They don't realize what they have. I'm telling you, New York will realize what they got. New York will realize what they got with Caitlin Clark. And I know Erin Kane probably understands that too. She might not be a good agent, but sometimes common sense is that blatant. Where it doesn't matter how bad your agent is. Oh, well, you're in New York, Nike.
It was planning. Fans who stand with Caitlin should be excited for her future, but terrified for Indiana's present. Should she bet on Indiana fixing itself? Or join a team already built to win? Comment free, Caitlin, if you know the answer. And don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell.
That's cool. A meet and greet at the Edge. Oh yeah, a lot of opportunities in New York, folks. A lot of opportunities in New York. The fact her agent's back there, I'm not sure if she represents Breanna Stewart as well, or Sabrina Ionescu as well. I don't think so. Or Sandy, I don't think so. It's just a nice meet and greet, folks. This is just an innocent lunch, right? Just an innocent, I'm just out having lunch with my girls. Just hanging out, having fun. We're not talking about me coming to New York, no.